Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 2nd July 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please note we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action, including all the advanced strategies. And all the training lessons are already available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. To access the training lessons, click on the tab Posts, then you get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that is having all the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are into supply demand zone price action course. Here you have all the training lessons are available, including all the advanced strategies. You just scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here starting from lesson 1.1. All the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one, but according to my training instructions. My training instructions are provided at our Telegram channel. You can find link to our Telegram channel in this video description. Go to the video description, join at our Telegram channel. In the old messages, you can find the training instructions, or even you can look into the pinned messages for the training instructions. If if you learn the course according to my training instructions, then only it will be helpful to you to become a very good independent trader in the coming days. Please make use of this opportunity. Okay, now I am getting into the report generation. First, I am going to generate daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones for intraday trading as per the training lesson 21.3 video what I explained for HLQ zone strategy. Okay, first daily time frame, stocks near to the daily demand zone. We got 12 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Astral is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. Bajaj Finserv is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. NBCC is not valid because it is a pierced zone. You can use this for pierced zone strategies if you already completed lesson 28, where I explained all the pierced zone strategies. That's it. We got only two daily high liquidity demand zones from this list, Astral and Bajaj Finserv. And also remember, I am giving you only few seconds time to watch the report. So I request you pause the video, study all these reports and then move on to the next report. In case you did not understand the structure of this report, I request you complete the training lesson 21.1 video. In that video, I have explained each and every column, their values, abbreviations in detail. Okay, next daily time frame, stocks near to the daily supply zone. We got 10 stocks. Let us identify daily high liquidity supply zones from this list. NIFTY consumer durable is not listed in F&O. I am ignoring this zone for HLQ zone strategy. Hindustan Copper is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. Inox Wind is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. Nika is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. So total 3 daily high liquidity supply zones are identified from this list. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone. We got 4 stocks. Let us verify 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. Cummins is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. HDFC Life is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. Tata Power is also having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. So total we identified 3 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. Okay, next for 75 minutes time frame, stocks near to the 75-minute supply zone, we got 11 stocks. Let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones from this list. KAYNES is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. That's it. We got only one 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone from this list. So with this, we have completed identification of daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones for our HLQ zone strategy learned in lesson 21.3 videos. Okay, next I am going to generate NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain reports. Starting with NIFTY, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. In any supply demand zone chain report, always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. And look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. And also look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. And you already learned one time frame higher is ITF and one more time frame higher is HTF. You are aware of those concepts. And also don't forget to pause the video when you are moving from one report to another report, because I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the reports. Please remember these rules for all the supply demand zone chain reports. Okay, next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 125 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 75 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 25 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Serial number 17, serial number 16 is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. It is a pierced zone. Okay, this is about NIFTY supply demand zone chain report. Next, we will look into BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain reports. NIFTY Bank is nothing but BANKNIFTY, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 125 minute supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, generating 75 minute supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, 25 minute supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. So this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. So we have completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain reports. Next we will generate sideways bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly, daily and hourly income trades. Starting with monthly income trade, sideways long trade setup, entry time frame daily, entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish or sideways trade setup at entry time frame daily. I am selecting sideways long, and the zone achievement should be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score for sideways is 11 and bullish or bearish trade setup 12. We already learned. Because it is sideways, I am selecting 11. And third filter, pierced zones I am avoiding for a daily time frame, because any pierced zones, those who completed lesson 28 can use pierced zone strategies for their benefit. I am not filtering pierced zones daily, but 75 excuse me, for 75 minutes and below time frames, I will be filtering pierced zones. Okay, here sideways long trade setup, monthly income trade, we got 7 stocks, and entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. Sideways long trade setup for monthly income trade, entry time frame, daily demand zones. We got 7 stocks. Some zones, pierced zones are there. I think one zone is there. You can use only pierced zone strategy. You can't directly plan sideways trade setup for this. Okay, next, sideways short trade setup for monthly income trade. Changes are daily supply zone. Here sideways short. Filters are applied to daily supply zone. Let's filter. We got 2 stocks. And entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. Next, bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. The changes are daily demand zone. Here bullish. And one more change, minimum odd enhancer score should be 12 for bullish or bearish. So total 19 stocks we got. All these 19 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade, and entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. So total we got 19 daily demand zones supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Out of these 19 demand zones, daily demand zones, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone confluence and then EMA confluence strategies. So first filter is the LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is nothing but daily and weekly demand zone confluence. Let's apply that filter on those 19 stocks. So in the demand zone confluence, in this parameter, I am selecting the filter daily demand zone with weekly demand zone. I enable the filter. And this filter is applied on those 19 stocks. After that, we got 15 stocks. In these 15 stocks, all these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zones. If daily zone overlapped with weekly zone, obviously the institutional order flow could be at weekly level. So it could be much stronger. That is the general assumption. Okay, but still, is it enough? No. If those weekly demand zones are having a weekly EMA confluence, then that overlapped daily demand zone might be having strong institutional order flow. There are higher chances to get more success. So let's verify. But when you select EMA confluence, the trend on the time frame should not be sideways. But the weekly trend is ITF trend. So ITF trend always uptrend in bullish trade setup. So directly you can use EMA confluence on weekly. So EMA confluence on weekly, I am selecting weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. Weekly trend is uptrend for all stocks. Now the list is come down to 12 stocks. So these 12 daily demand zones might be having strong institutional order flows. Provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances those zones might be violated. That's why lesson 20 checklist is very, very important. Before planning the trade, you need to complete the checklist. If everything is okay, then you can plan the trades. Hope all of you completed lesson 20. Okay, so these are the high probability trade setup supported zones based on daily and weekly demand zone confluence and weekly EMA confluence. Next, we will look into daily, weekly and even monthly demand zone confluence, HTF. So let's verify all the three zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter. Demand zone confluence, I am setting three filters. First filter is already enabled, daily and weekly. Next, daily and monthly demand zone confluence, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence. By enabling all the three filters, that is daily, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence, we got 5 stocks. In all these 5 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zone, both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone. And monthly trend is HTF trend is up in all the stocks. So confidently you can further filter based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. In that case, the overlapped daily demand zones inside the monthly will be having even much more stronger institutional order flow and probably might be having more higher success rate. So in the EMA confluence at the monthly time frame, I am checking monthly demand zone having monthly EMA. Anyway, monthly trend is uptrend in all the stocks. Let's filter. We got 2 stocks. That way, these 2 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, zones will be violated. There are higher chances. Okay, this is about a bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Now, detailed explanation I will reduce because I gave a very detailed explanation so that next reports we will generate quickly. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entry zone supply zone, bullish or bearish at daily. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhancer score 12. Let's filter. We got 3 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. And entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. Out of these 3 daily supply zones, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on zone confluence strategies. But this time supply zone confluence strategies. First filter is daily and weekly supply zone confluence. Applying this filter on the 3 stocks, we got all the 3 stocks. That means in all the 3 stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zones. So that means daily zones are part of weekly supply zones. And the weekly trend is a downtrend, ITF trend. So let us further filter with weekly supply zone with weekly EMA confluence. So we got 2 stocks. So these 2 daily supply zones might be having more higher probability to get success. Provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Daily, weekly and monthly supply zone confluence supported stocks. I am removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one already enabled, daily and weekly. Next, daily and monthly, weekly and monthly supply zone confluence. With all 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In both these stocks, the daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zone. Both together again overlapped with monthly supply zone. But monthly trend is sideways. Sideways trend, EMA does not give any advantage. So we are not checking with EMA confluence. So this is about a bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. So we have completed monthly income trade reports. Next we will look into weekly income trade reports we will generate. So weekly income trade entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone for sideways long trade setup and bullish bearish sideways at 75 minutes. I am selecting sideways long, zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhance score 11, and now we are adding third filter from now onwards. What is the third filter? That is zone, whichever the value you selected. Here I selected 75 minutes demand zone. So 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means the zone is not pierced. Which zone? 75 minutes demand zone, whatever you select here. So let's filter. We got two stocks supporting sideways long trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. See, this is already tested 11 times. Okay, next we will look into sideways short trade setup for weekly income trade. The changes are 75 minutes supply zone. Here sideways short trade setup. Let's filter. We got four stocks supporting sideways short trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 75 minutes supply zone. See, this is already tested once. So total 4 stocks are filtered. Okay, next we will look into bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. The changes are 75 minutes demand zone, here bullish, and one more change, minimum odd enhance score should be 12. Let's filter. And we got 18 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame zones are these 75 minutes demand zones. So first 15 75 minutes demand zones. I am scrolling the list down. So total we got 18 75 minutes demand zones as entry time frame zones. So 18 stocks, all these 18 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Out of these 18 demand zones, how many might be having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on zone confluence strategies. First one is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. By enabling the filter, applying on the 18 stocks, we got 14 stocks. In all these 14 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones, all these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily demand zone. And also daily trend is uptrend in all the stocks, ITF trend. So we can further filter this list based on daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. In that case, these overlapped 75 minutes demand zones might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. EMA confluence, daily time frame. I am checking daily demand zone having daily EMA because daily trend is uptrend in all the stocks. So we got 10 stocks. So these 10 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success. Provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances those zones might be violated. Okay, this is based on LTF and ITF demand zone confluence and ITF EMA confluence. That is the 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence and daily EMA confluence for daily demand zone. Next, we will look into LTF, ITF and even HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. That is 75 minutes daily and weekly demand zone confluence supported stocks. Let's verify. I am removing EMA filter. This is ITF specific. Now we should focus on HTF. So in the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we are setting. First filter is already enabled, 75 and daily demand zone confluence. Next, 75 minutes and weekly demand zone confluence, daily and weekly demand zone confluence. With all the three filters, we got 7 stocks. And all these 7 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for a weekly income trade, and entry time frame zones are these 75 minutes demand zones. Okay, in these 7 stocks, this 75 minutes demand zone overlapped with the daily demand zone, both together again overlapped with weekly demand zone. And weekly trend is uptrend. HTF trend is weekly. Uptrend in all the stocks here. So we can further filter with the weekly demand zone with weekly EMA. In that case, the overlapped 75 minutes demand zone inside the weekly demand zone might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. EMA confluence to weekly time frame, we are checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA. Anyway, weekly trend is up in all those stocks. We got 6 stocks. So these 6 75 minutes demand zones might be having even more stronger institutional order flows, might be having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, zones might be violated. That you should not forget. So this is bullish trade setup for weekly income trading. Next, we will look into bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish at 75 minutes. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd and enhancer score 12. And also 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 5 stocks. All these 5 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. So we got 5 stocks. Out of these 5, how many might be having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on the supply zone confluence. First filter, 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. Applying the filter, we got 4 stocks. So in these 4 stocks, the 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend is down in all the stocks. So further we can filter based on daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. Checking daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. So we got 1 stock. So this 1 stock is having even more high probability to get success. Maybe that is the reason why it is already tested 4 times. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF and even HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. So it is 75 minutes, daily and weekly supply zone confluence supported stocks. I am removing EMA filter. Supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is daily and weekly, already enabled. Next daily and, not daily and weekly, sorry for the mistake. 75 minutes and daily already enabled. Next 75 minutes and weekly, daily and weekly. All 3 filters are enabled. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. So in these 2 stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped, not daily. These 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with daily. Both together again overlapped with weekly supply zone. But weekly trend is down in only 1 stock. Let's verify if this zone, weekly supply zone having weekly EMA. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It should be only downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So none of the stocks are having weekly EMA. Fine. So this is bearish trade setup for a weekly income trade. Next we will generate daily income trade reports. Entry time frame should be 15 minutes. Entry zone, demand zone for sideways long trade setup. In bullish or bearish or sideways at 15 minutes, I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement VOZ. Minimum order enhances score 11 for sideways. And also 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 3 stocks. These 3 stocks are supporting sideways long trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. We got 3 stocks. Okay, next we will look into sideways short trade setup for daily income trade. And changes are entry time frame 15 minutes, supply zone, entry zone. And another change, it should be sideways short. Let's filter. We got 1 stock. And entry time frame zone is 15 minutes supply zone, already tested 5 times. Okay, next we will look into bullish trade setup for daily income trade. The changes are 15 minutes demand zone and also here bullish, and one more change, minimum order enhances score 12. Let's filter. First 16 stocks in the list, total 18 stocks are filtered. First 16 stocks in the list, all are supporting a bullish trade setup for daily income trade, and all these entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. All these are all 15 minutes demand zones. So first 16 15 minutes demand zones in the list. Scrolling the list down, total 18 stocks are filtered. Out of these 18, let us identify more high probability trade setup supported stocks based on different zone confluence strategies. So first filter is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is nothing but 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I enable the filter and applying on the 18 stocks. Now and it displayed all the 18 stocks. That means in all the 18 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zones. First 16 stocks, total 18 stocks. See the demand zone confluence. 75 and 15 minutes demand zone confluence. Okay, now the ITF trend, 75 minutes trend in all the stocks are uptrend. ITF trend always uptrend in bullish trade setup. So that's why let us further filter if 75 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. By enabling the filter, now the list is come down to only 2 stocks. So EMA confluence at 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. So these two 15 minutes demand zones might be having stronger institutional order flow to get success, high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. That point we should not forget. Otherwise zones might be violated. Higher chances are there. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF and even HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. That is 15 minutes, 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled. Next 15 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. By enabling all the 3 filters, we got 7 stocks. So in these 7 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Again, both together overlapped with daily demand zone in all these stocks. But daily trend is up in 3 stocks, only 3 stocks out of 7. And in those uptrend, daily trend means HTF trend stocks, if any of those 3 stocks are having daily demand zone with daily EMA, then the overlapped 15 minutes demand zone inside the daily might be having even more strong institutional order flow, probably having higher success rate. Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence at a daily time frame, I'm checking daily demand zone having daily EMA. At the same time, trend on the daily should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. Let's filter. So we got 2 stocks. So these 2 15 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success. That's why this stock already tested twice. Okay, this is about a bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, let us look into bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone supply zone, and bullish or bearish at 15 minutes. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhancer score 12, and also 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. By applying all the filters, we got 3 stocks. These 3 are bearish trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15 minute supply zones. Out of these 3 15 minute supply zones, how many might be having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone supply zone confluence strategies. First one 15 minutes and 75 minute supply zone confluence. I am enabling this filter in the supply zone confluence. By applying the filter on the 3 stocks, we got 2 are filtered. In these 2 stocks, these 15 minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. And 75 minutes trend is downtrend in both the stocks. Let's verify if any 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence. 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA. None of them are having daily EMA. Okay, fine. Next, let us look into LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. I removed EMA filter. Supply zone confluence 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled. Next 15 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we did not get any stocks. So this is bearish trade setup for daily income trade. So we have completed daily income trade reports. Next we will look into hourly income trade reports. For hourly income trade, entry time frame is 5 minutes. Entry zone is demand zone. At 5 minutes I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement VOZ. Minimum order enhancer score 11 for sideways. And also 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 5 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 7 stocks. This is a sideways long trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 5 minutes demand zones. All these are all 5 minutes demand zones for sideways long trade setup. Next, sideways short trade setup. The changes are 5 minutes supply zone and one more change here. Sideways short, we got 3 stocks. Sideways short trade setup for hourly income trade. And entry time frame zones are 5 minute supply zones. We got 3 stocks. Next, bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Changes are 5 minutes demand zone. Here one more change bullish. And also one more change minimum order enhancer score 12. With these filters, we got 14 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for hourly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 5 minutes demand zones. So total we got 14 5 minutes demand zones. Out of these 14, how many might be having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on zone confluence and EMA confluence. First in the demand zone confluence, 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence. With this filter, we got 10 stocks. In all the 10 stocks, 5 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. And 15 minutes trend, ITF trend is uptrend. So let's further filter by checking if any 15 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. By setting the filter, we got one stock. That way this 5 minutes demand zone might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise zones might be violated. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. Next, in the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one enabled. Next 5 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 4 stocks. So in these 4 stocks, these 5 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend is up, only 2 stocks. Let's verify in these 2 stocks any 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA. In the EMA at 75 minutes time frame, I am checking 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA. At the same time, trend on the 75 minutes should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So we don't have any EMA confluence. So this is about bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish. At 5 minutes, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhances score 12. And also 5 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. In the pierced count, 5 minutes, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 9 stocks. These 9 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. And entry time frame zones are 5 minute supply zones. In all the stocks. So total 9 stocks, 5 minute supply zones. Out of these 9 5 minute supply zones, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on supply zone confluence and then EMA confluence strategies. First 5 minutes and 15 minutes supply zone confluence, I am enabling the filter. So we got 9 stocks. In all the 9 stocks, 5 minutes and 15 minutes supply zones are overlapped. Further we will filter if any 15 minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence. One stock is filtered. That way this 5 minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success. Maybe that is the reason why I already tested twice. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. Supply zone confluence, 3 filters I am setting. First filter already enabled, 5 minutes and 15 minutes. Next 5 minutes and 75 minutes. And 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. We got only 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, these 5 minute supply zones overlapped with 15 minute supply zone. Both together overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. But 75 minutes trend is down in only one stock. Let's verify this 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA. 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA. At the same time, trend on the 75 should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So none of the stocks are having EMA confluence. So this is hourly income trade reports. With this we have completed all the income trade reports. Next we will generate finding the stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. Starting with yearly, price closed inside the yearly demand zone. We got only one stock. Next, price closed inside the yearly supply zone. No stocks are available. Next, half yearly time frame. Stocks near half yearly demand zone. No stocks. Stocks near half yearly supply zone. Also no stocks. Next, price closed inside the half yearly demand zone. We got 3 stocks. Next, price closed inside the half yearly supply zone. We got 4 stocks. Next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near quarterly demand zone. We got 1 stock. Next, stocks near quarterly supply zone. No stocks are available. Price closed inside the quarterly demand zone. We got 11 stocks. Let's further filter based on quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence. That is quarterly demand zone with quarterly EMA. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Now we got 6 stocks. All these quarterly demand zones are having quarterly EMA confluence. Not only that, current price closed inside those quarterly supply zones. Okay, next, price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. First 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, total 17 stocks are filtered. Okay, let's further filter based on quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA confluence. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. We got 3 stocks. Okay, next time frame is monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone. We got 7 stocks. Next, stocks near monthly supply zone. We got 2 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. We got 19 stocks. Let's further filter based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. We got 8 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the monthly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. "37 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on EMA and monthly. That is monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. We got 12 stocks. Okay, next time frame is a weekly. Stocks near to the weekly demand zone. We got 11 stocks. Next, stocks near to the weekly supply zone. We got 12 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. 20 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. We got 9 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the weekly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 61 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. Weekly supply zone with weekly EMA confluence, and also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, now the list is reduced. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 18 stocks are filtered. So this is about the weekly time frame. Next time frame is daily. Daily already we generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 125 minutes time frame. Stocks near to the 125 minutes time frame, we got 3 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 125 minutes supply zone, we got 10 stocks. Next time frame is 75 minutes. That is also generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near to the 25 minutes demand zone, we got 13 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 25 minutes supply zone, we got 6 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near to the 15 minutes demand zone, we got 6 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 15 minutes supply zone, we got 6 stocks. Next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near to the 5 minutes demand zone, we got 8 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 5 minute supply zone, we got 10 stocks. So we have completed stocks near demand and supply zones for all the time frames. And finally, we will generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. So first 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. So I'm scrolling the list down, whichever the stock you want to refer, there pause the video. After that, you can proceed further. Okay, I'm scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.